We're absolutely good. Yeah, so we'll just give people a few more minutes to come in and join. I think, let me just, hey, my morning crew is joining. Meredith, hey.
Hello.
Hello, how are ya?
Good. It's your fan club.
Long time no speak, huh? Well,
Countrywide, where are you from? Where are you calling from?
Meredith, she's Boston.
Oh, yes, I'm just north of Boston.
Okay.
How about yourself?
Same thing. Same thing.
Oh.
We're Burlington. I'm Burlington.
Oh, okay. I'm in North Andover.
Aha. Okay.
So we are close.
There we go. Very close.
This is Pedro. We're getting ready to bring 4 or 5 more folks in here. This is great. And we're in Tampa, Florida.
Oh, nice.
Great. Nice and
excellent.
warm. Well, actually, it's pretty warm here too today.
I was going to say, it's kind of Florida-like today. Looks like it's like 80 degrees where I am and beautiful sun.
Yes.
We're getting the Boston rain.
Oh.
Yeah.
And okay.
We
It's supposed to be 92 and stormy here in Virginia later today.
Just for your situational awareness, you may want to thank Jeff. He's the chat coordinator who helped us re-log in. We had about 4 or 5 tries, and if others can't get in, well, chat with Jeff. He took care of us. So,
All right. Tech experts.
Perfect.
David.
Hey, everybody.
Hey. So David, Victoria, David is the president of WITI.
Nice to meet you.
And Carolyn, I have to say, is his mom. Thanks to her, we are all here today.
Very good.
Yeah. So David, I figured, people are probably just logging in. Give them like another couple of minutes before we get started.
Sure.
Cool. Hi, Jess.
Good morning.
Good morning. Where are you logging in from?
I'm in Phoenix.
All right.
Wow.
Wow.
We're just all across.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
David is LA. Was that Alan? You're from LA too, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. We got Virginia. So it's good. This is what I love about doing virtual. Is like there's like no borders, no walls. It's really nice. Yeah, and we've made so many new friends over the last few weeks of doing this. Yeah.
Been amazing.
Yeah. How was graduation?
Well, graduation's on Sunday. So the drama continues and the plot thickens. Oh, it's such a drama. But anyways, keeping my fingers crossed that everything goes okay and the children at least get some closure. And that's basically it.
Yeah, that's for sure. Right. So maybe we'll just get started in another 1 minute if that's okay. Heather, we see you. Welcome. Kiki, welcome.
Thank you.
All right. David, should we get started? Or should we wait a few more minutes?
Yeah, I think we can. I think we can get going.
Okay, sounds good.
Start with giving everybody a chance to introduce themselves, and then by that time, maybe a few more will pop in. So.
Yeah. All right. So thank you, David, and thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We hope that you're all staying happy, healthy, and safe. Extremely important. We are really grateful that you're joining us today. just kind of a couple of quick things before we get started. Of course, we have the amazing Victoria with us today. She's the CEO and founder of Gemini, and we'll be hearing a lot more about that very soon. I'm Parna. I'm the VP of Brand Marketing for WITI. WITI stands for Women in Technology International. It's founded by Carolyn Layden about over 30 years ago now, and we have 60 plus networks worldwide. We have about 100,000 plus members, 300 corporate partners. So it's been doing amazingly well. The WITI's flagship event is the WITI Summit. That's actually this month. So if you guys haven't checked it out, do check out. This will be witty.com. Learn about the summit. It's also virtual this year. It's looking really, really good, even if the team's been working hard at it. And what I might suggest, so, this is usually a 30-minute session, but if we need to, we may go a little longer. But please introduce yourselves via chat. That way, we can all get your contact information or your LinkedIn if you want to stay connected with us. And please inundate us with questions. And if you're not talking, I might suggest if you would please put yourself on mute. And then please use the chat. Go crazy with questions for Victoria. Okay? Welcome again. So Victoria, oh my gosh, you are this phenomenal leader, founder, and I don't even know how you do what you do, but you also recently won the award, the Aerospace and Defense Company of the Year. That's wow, your team, everybody, yay, congratulations, that's great.
There they are, and many, many more who couldn't be with us today because they are keeping us safe.
Perfect. So, Victoria, why don't you share with us a little bit about your past? You went from being a nerd, a geek, to working with, I can't say the word, you told me not to say the word, but
Staff and International Security and Gemini.
Okay. And then now you're the leader. Okay, so how about it? Tell us about you.
So I was raised by two doctors, a surgeon and a neurologist. They worked hard. They wanted to give their children the best life. And they believed that the best way to have a good life was to work hard in science, math, or engineering. And it won't be a surprise that the only important subject in school and the only real career was in, you guessed it, math, science, and engineering. So that's where I started.
That's great.
Yeah, math is structured. It's well-defined, and it's very black and white. The answer is either right or wrong. You either got the process right or you didn't. And so I found that if I learned the rules and I followed the bouncing ball, I had a good chance of being all set. But it wasn't enough for me. I needed more. I needed to do something that mattered. I needed to find something that deserved my best skills, my best ideas, and my best efforts. Because remember, I was going to have to be working hard here, so it better be something good. And I needed something that was going to inspire me. National security came along. National security matters, right?
Right, absolutely.
And the men and women who sacrificed their lives to keep all of us safe, they deserve the best. And that inspired me to start, and it inspires me to this day. So my first job was working for a defense research company. And my first project they gave me was to do this report. The report was document all the communications systems that were required for missile warning. Okay, so I'm 21 years old going, ooh, this is important. This is really exciting. I'm going to do this, okay? And it's going to protect everyone, really important. And I said, okay, where do I get this information? Well, they go, look over there. There's 20 piles of reports, 2 feet tall. They said, go through all that stuff and put it all together, do your report. So I said, okay. It's kind of looking bad, but okay. You know, a week, I sat there, stayed at work until 10 o'clock every single day, looking through all those reports. And I had this big piece of paper, because remember, that's the dark ages, no computers, right? So I'm filling out this big chart, okay? What's the name of the system? Is it a satellite? Is it a radar? You know, how fast does it run? Is it send only, receive only? Does it hold classified, unclassified, secret, top secret, what level? Okay, trying to do this little, you know, thing, okay? But then the math person gets into trouble because the reports don't match. One report says 2 things unclassified. Same system, another report says 3 things, 2 classified, 1 unclassified, and I'm getting so confused. And I'm thinking, this is never gonna work because I can't get the right answer. You can't have the same thing, 4 different answers. What's the matter with this? Okay, I'm going crazy. So finally I said, okay, I got this idea because they told me I'm doing this for all of the systems, go into the Cheyenne Mountain, right, to the communication center, so we can figure out what's coming from where, right? So I get on the phone, I call the communication center, right? Because I'm trying to get the answers, right? So I get to talk to Sergeant Smith. Sergeant Smith says, honey, I can help you out. I got a computer, I got a printout, print the whole thing out for you. He did, okay? Got me a printout, put it in the mail. I got it, filled out my chart, did my report. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, I know the data's right. Send it in. Guess what? Big fail. F. I got an F. I got an F minus. Why did I get an F minus? Because the 21-year-old was not supposed to call the communications center in the NORAD Cheyenne Mountain Complex. And I said, what? What'd you want me to do? Well, you got to write a memo to your supervisor, who's going to write a memo to the supervisor over in Colorado, who's going to write a memo to the communication center so they can get the report and give it to the supervisor in Colorado, who's going to give it to your supervisor, who's going to, and I said, well, how long is that going to take? Oh, you know, 3-4 weeks. I'm like, but I wanted it faster. Well, you know, they said to me, honey, speed's relative. Don't worry about it. Okay,
That's
my
an interesting way to start for sure with all the papers. How did you go from there to crime fighting?
Crime fighting. Well, it was at that point.
Black market crime fighting.
I decided I was going to start a company. Okay, and as you might, so I'm 25 years old, right? I don't have a lot of experience. I'm 25 years old, and the Army came to me and they said, you know, we're building this system, we gotta have this system that's gonna control sale of US products in the black market in Panama, and you look just like a local. And we want you, we want you to be on the team. And I'm like, what? Is looking like a local like really a good thing? Or maybe not. But, you know, I had to decide. Am I going to hope that I'm going to get another chance to get some Gemini work and build on it for the business? or am I not? Am I gonna risk my life? Because this is around the time of the Panama invasion, or am I not? So nothing happened to me. Here I am, many, many years later. And that's how I got Gemini started. And I worked hard to make Gemini an expert in national security and to build our operations across the US and to create that 30-year track record.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. So, what were some of your biggest challenges as you built the company or worked with the armies, especially as you were saying, 25-year-old? So how do you go from that and challenges that you may have faced to build your company?
How do you do that? You surround yourself with the best people. Like Pedro, no fail, no excuses. Like JP, all in. Like Tim, superstar. That's what you do. And every day you ask yourself, am I doing things that make me deserve them? Because my job as the leader is to help them be successful. If I'm not helping them be successful, I'm not doing my job. Some days I feel like I deserve them. Other days I know I have to work on something to be better and to better deserve each and every one of them.
No, that's awesome. So obviously, you've worked in the security business for a very long time. You're used to, or it's probably you're never used to risks, but the whole situation that we are in today, with the pandemic, the economic downturn, I won't even touch what's happening recently right now, but how did you have to pivot, Gemini? How did you move to make sure that your clients were being helped, your team was safe? Like, what was the pivot that you had to make, and did your background in risk management help?
Okay, so let me start with the Gemini way is not to pivot. Gemini doesn't change its goals. We may change and adjust the way we get to our goals, but we don't change our goals.
Okay.
When you're faced with a situation like the pandemic that we're all going through, I think what has been successful for me is what I call ACT. A-C-T. A is assess. Assess what's changed and what adjustments you might have to make so that you will be able to achieve your goal and also keep your team safe and also still serve your customers. And there's C. C is communicate. It's important to understand the concerns and the anxieties of all the members of your team, to keep watching and to reassure them that we will support you through this. If they are too anxious to do one thing or the other, that does not reflect negatively on them. And I think that's part of where a lot of the concerns come from. And as much as possible, I think it's important to maintain consistency. So many things, as we know, have to change, but everything doesn't have to change. So what are those things that can stay the same? You may have to communicate differently, like virtually, like we're doing right now with your team, but that doesn't mean that you stop communicating with them. And T is take it to a win, which is my favorite one. That means you still got your same goals. You may have a different path. You may change it along the way. And you have to pay attention and notice what kinds of things could affect how you need to get to your goal, but you're still gonna get to your goal. And you're gonna come out of all this, we're all gonna come out of this better than we were before this whole thing started.
Right.
And
No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say we did. And we did. From my conversations with you, you did. Everybody can do that.
No, for sure. No, that's really good. Act. So we should all leverage that, the act part of it for our business and in our lives, I guess. Okay, and guys, if you have questions for Victoria, please go ahead and post them in the chat. So Victoria, you know, there are, I mean, I think right now there's a lot of people who are trying to figure out, you know, what's next for them from like a career standpoint, for example. I think there's like 40 plus, you know, million people are out of jobs right now. Do you have like any suggestions for them so like they don't give up? You know, what are some tips for the folks who are struggling right now or looking for a new career or looking for a job? Like any tips there from your perspective?
So I guess what I would say is success is their choice. They're the ones who are going to choose to be successful and find the right place for them to go. Now, I know that all sounds simple. It's really not simple. Because on the way to being successful, you're going to get knocked down, you're going to say no to, you're going to get laughed at, all sorts of things over and over and over and over and over and over and over. And the temptation, as you're going through it, the temptation is to say, that's not fair. I should have gotten that job. I should have done that. They just don't like me because pick a reason, okay? I knew I wasn't going to get that. I knew this. I knew that, okay? Well, that I found doesn't do it for you. You have to keep getting up, thinking about what went wrong, what'd you do differently next time compared to what you did this time that maybe caused them to say no to you, and try it again, and try it again, and try it again, and try it again. Whenever we go after a piece of business, I tell my team, and they'll tell you too, I say, okay, you lost. Have you lost 10 yet? You can't win one till you lose 10. So really it's all about, I just been knocked down more times than lots of people. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Right. Now, good advice. So, changing topics a little bit. So, you had invited me to your company's 35th anniversary celebration. It was amazing. So I felt so blessed to be part of that. What I noticed was that you give back a lot to the community. You know, I saw the folks that you support. Want to talk a little bit about, you know, the importance of giving back to the community, because you're successful. You've come a long way. You have an amazing team. Where does giving back fall within your thinking, your strategy? Just curious.
Giving back is very, very important. It is not only important because, hey, we're all lucky, okay? There's a lot of people out there that have not had the advantage of starting out that we did, or didn't have the strength to get up and keep trying until they succeeded. So there's a lot of people that deserve our support, and there's an opportunity there that if you help somebody, maybe that's just the thing that they needed to be successful. And not only do the people that you are giving back benefit, I will tell you that as the giver, there is no greater feeling of pride than when you do something for an organization and get nothing in return for it.
Right. So how do you choose the organizations that you give back to?
Well, believe it or not, I have this very detailed process for doing it. And there's a lot of different things that we look at, one of which is, does the organization share our values? For example, we're a big supporter of the Matt Light Foundation, and his mission is to support at-risk kids, and he's building the leaders of tomorrow, okay? And his events that we've been to are so organized, attention to detail. They run, right, like Disneyland, okay, where everything is very specific. So excellent, okay? Business sense, smart guy. So you got to look at values, you got to look at how effective and how involved the leadership of a particular organization is. And you got to look, I also look at, is the support something that the members of my team can relate to, might at some point in time in the future, it might excite them and they might be interested in becoming involved, so that it'll make them feel good also. So that's kind of what we look at.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for doing that, for sure. So one of the questions we have is I'm just going to read it. Reflecting on your entrepreneurship journey, what are some of the lessons you learned in your first few years of starting your business? Any tips for a newbie entrepreneur?
Okay. So in building the business, I sort of have I learned and I developed my ABCs. Okay. So A is attention to detail.
Alphabets for everything.
I do. See, that's how I remember it, right? So I go through it. Okay, ABC. Do I do this? Yeah. Do I do this? Do I do this? ABC. Attention to detail, right? Really, you're going to win or lose. You're going to get the right person or not. You're going to get the answer. Win or lose in seconds. Okay? Your customer is going to look at you and say, if I can't trust you with the little things, how am I going to trust you with the big things?
Right.
Attention to detail, really important. B is big decisions. You have to learn how to get the courage and how to make big decisions. Because to build your company, one of the things that you're going to have to do is take a chance, take a try. And in order to do that, you have to consider all the risks that are, nothing is, if there were no risks and opportunities, okay, what's that? That's a no-brainer, right? So there's no decision to make. So you got to weigh the risks and the opportunities, and you have to have the courage to take the step and make a big decision. And C is credibility. Now, credibility does not mean be honest. That's not what credibility is. To me, credibility is do what you said you'll do, say what you'll do, follow through. so that if one of my folks wants something, you know, and if I make them wait 10 emails, 14 calls, what does that say about me? No credibility. And it's hard because there's so many things going on, and you got so many, you know, needs of your customers, of your folks, you know, marketing, everything. So you've got to be very disciplined and very specific to yourself and to your team, your customers, your stakeholders about what you're going to do, and make darn sure that you follow through on it.
Right. Oh, those are great tips. I think all of us will benefit from them. Thank you, Victoria. So I know we're at the end of our discussion, but I have to ask one more question, if you guys would all bear with me. Is that an eagle on your desk?
Yes.
Tell us about it. What is that? I've been like watching that, but I want to know what that is.
That is my military eagle. In the military, it is common for them to present this kind of a statue to an outstanding achiever. And it's intended to symbolize the achiever who soars above the others in pursuit of excellence. Well, when we had our 30th anniversary, my team, a group of lots of veterans, colonels, captains, commanders, sergeants, they presented it to me.
Wow.
And it was a proud day for me. And my special thing.
Awesome. Victoria, it's such an honor to have you here today to listen to your story. You are such an inspiration for us all. Congratulations to you and your team on all these awesome stuff you guys are doing to keeping us safe, to creating jobs, to giving back to society. So we appreciate you and your team for everything. So thank you so much for your time, and everybody, thank you for joining. Stay well, stay safe, and the next Fireside Chat is on June 18th. Another amazing woman who we'll be talking to. She's the CEO of Vecna Technologies. So do tune in for that. Again, thank you all. Check out the Witty Summit. Join us for our, we are also hosting a ton of virtual events, guys. So just check them out on witty.com. David, anything you want to add before we hang up?
I just wanted to thank everybody for participating and thank Victoria for leading a great session. And we did record it, so we'll be up, and feel free to share it with your friends and rewatch it, of course. And thank you, Parna, for putting it together, of course, as always.
Can I say one more thing?
Of course.
Okay, last thing. My heroes out at Gemini who get no publicity for being the force behind national security. I can't thank you enough. You do everything for us. Can I get a round of applause for everybody who's still here?
Absolutely. Amazing. All right, folks. Thank you so much. Stay well.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Good job, Gemini.
Bye. Thank you.
Alan, I'm going to reach out to you. Thanks for posting that. Everybody.
Bye, Tim.
Yeah, see you guys.
Hey, that was good, Victoria. Thank you.
Thank you, Parna. Nice job.
All right. Talk soon. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.